essentially the thinking underlying this is that the norm is abstraction, the aberration is flow. So long as you leave a little bit of water flowing in the river, you can do whatever you like with the rest. That is what the norm is, the flow. Abstraction is the aberration. That is the thing which needs to, so that what is needed is not minimum flow, but minimum interference with natural flows. This is the way we have to turn it around. I've been saying this in a number of meetings, but I don't think it has produced any impact. This is one thing, and also about rivers. Joyce said a river must flow. Absolutely. In fact, if it doesn't flow, it's not a river. But there are two or three other propositions you need to add. I've been saying this in meetings in Delhi about Yamuna, with the chief minister, with the lieutenant governor, and so on. A river must flow. A river must be given space. When the floods come as they will, and floods are natural phenomena, the river needs to spread. If you don't do that, you create disaster. And a river is an ecological system and a part of a larger ecological system, so that you cannot protect the river unless you also protect the ecological system as a whole. And finally, the engineers call a river a drain. So that is asking for trouble. Technically, it's correct. It drains an area. But it's not a drain in the sense in which, you downgrade it. You think, when you talk about a drain, you're essentially having a rather poor idea of a river. I think these things, the right to water. It's quite attractive to say that the right to water should include not merely the basic water for drinking, cooking and personal hygiene, but also livelihood. But there are two or three difficulties here. Conceptually I have no problem with that. But the difficulty is, when you confine the right to water to drinking water plus cooking plus personal hygiene, you can put a number on it. Peter Gleich has the number of 50 liters per day. You can double it for other purposes, tending the habitat and so on. Make it even 100. You can fix a norm for it. The moment you add livelihoods, it becomes a problem. You say estimate it in terms of biomass. That may be possible in rural areas, but it doesn't apply to urban areas. Even in rural areas, if a person lives in a village and goes and works in the nearby town, how do you estimate his water entitlement on a biomass basis? So it becomes difficult. Suppose you say, you add X number, say 100. Can you say then 200 is the fundamental right? You cannot, because it's contestable. When you say drinking water, personal hygiene, food and so cooking and so on, it is not a contestable number. You can fairly clearly estimate a number and say this is the fundamental right. But when you bring in livelihoods, you enter a contestable area, you cannot put a number on it. It becomes difficult. I am not saying therefore the idea should be given up. I am only pointing out that there are serious difficulties when you expand the scope of the right to water to include livelihood.